Okay, we're going to look at a couple example problems from estimating probabilities empirically and through simulation. So we're looking at applicants for a particular job, and we have them broken down into ones that have less than 10 years experience and ones that have 10 years experience or more, as well as broken down into being males and females. So if we wanted to estimate the probability of, a male answering overall, that's not so bad. We have to figure out, the number of males applying divided by the total. And that'll estimate a probability. Now, that's going to give us the probability that in this particular survey, but if we wanted to figure out the probability of males that would apply for a job, this is data that we could use. And then so we would say the probability of a female then would be 120 over 410. Because we have 120 females and we have 410 total people. We could also look up different things like, the probability of a female and less than 10 years experience, so 10 minus. That is going to be 99 over 410, because we're still talking about from the whole population. So you can go through and look at and estimate these probabilities with numbers that already exist. So this is kind of, looking back after a simulation has occurred to try to figure out what the true probabilities are, as opposed to a simulation where you know what the true probabilities are and you're trying to figure out what possibly could happen here. So really this could work for any number of probabilities that you want. Now, more like a question that you would use simulation for, which simulation is very useful. If we had a 20 question test and it's true false, so each one only has 2 answers, and we're saying that, let's say the students just randomly guess. What kind of numbers should we expect from that? Well, what you need to do is first set up some sort of scale and say that, okay, well, the chance that they get it correct is what? Well, 2 picks, they should get it right about 50% of the time. And incorrect, also about 50% of the time. So that's what we were going to guess. And that's hypothetically just randomly picking one, no desire. It's got that much of a chance of being right. So how do we estimate and how do we go through this as many times as possible to figure out what somebody might get? Well, what we need to do is we need to assign probabilities to each of these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to randomly pick a number. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick 1 or I'm going to pick 0 or 1. So correct is going to be a 1. Number 1. And so this is going to be the number 0 is an incorrect. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this feature called the rand int feature, and I'm going to pick between 0 and 1. And I'm going to keep doing this over and over and over again, and I'm going to record down whether it's right or wrong. So if I go to my calculator here, the way that I use this is I need to go to math. Oh, turned off. Come on, turn back on, dude. All right, there we go. All right. You go to math, and you're going to go down to the rand int feature. So it's under this probability rand int. If you get lost, you can always hit second catalog and find it. So we go to rand int, and I'm going to pick 0 as my first number, 1 as my second, and close. Now, every time I hit enter from now on, it's going to randomly pick a number, either 0 or 1. So I start off and I hit enter. 1, so they got it right. 2, got it right again. 3, they missed one. 4, they got it right. 5 missed. 6 got it right. 7 missed. 8 missed. 9 got it right. Missed. And so on and so forth. And you can keep going, and you should end up with about a 50-50 percentage over time. You can just keep continuing forever and ever and ever. Now, if you know how many times that you want to run something, you could go back to your rand feature. And so, excuse me, you go back to math, go to random integer, and you're going to pick 1, or excuse me, 0, 1, 0, 1, and I want to run it 20 times. And then this way, it'll do it just 20 times in a row and put it into a big list for me. So that way, I can kind of figure out everything's stored, and I can do it this way. So long as you go through and assign your probabilities out first and really think through it, running this random integer program really makes a lot of sense as far as running a probability simulation. So you'll want to go through, practice, make sure you understand how this random integer program works, make sure you're assigning the right things, and you should be able to get this answer. Now, there's more complicated things than that to do. You could program it to where it just kind of, you don't have to necessarily remember the numbers, but main thing is just getting the probabilities right, knowing that between 0 and 1 they have the same probability, and just picking them and recording them down is really what you need to know how to do.